Hello everyone, this is Hethetheth, and this is part 4 of my tutorial. Basically this is going to be a bit of a free-form explanation whilst I'm on this park file here. So now I'm recording using a digital camera, so the quality won't be as good, but it's HD so it shouldn't be too bad. And basically just going to talk through a few things. I haven't scripted this or really thought of it at all, just going to have a look round and show you a few things as I go along. As I said before, I find steel supports work quite well, and I think I'm going to start off with perhaps a science fiction scene. One thing I always think is quite useful is to raise up everything a little bit so you can fit in things like particles just below it. This is the kind of thing I was talking about in the tutorial before, about building up this sort of frame structure. These are NYR's concrete walls, by the way. One thing that's quite good is to mix together the thickness of the steel, because that gives quite a good layering effect. So there we go, that's a basic frame for our scene, which I haven't decided yet. I'll work that out in a minute. As I said, layers are quite good, so let's put in front of there maybe another row of these. Oh, no. Right, so we've got a basic framework there. Just trying to think here. One thing that people wanted to know is how to make a decent explosion, and N7, I think, actually asked what it would be like to try to create an explosion without actually having an explosion particle. So, I'm going to start this tutorial, I think, with a little bit of a science fiction theme. One thing I can show you here, that I will find, it comes into a lot of rides. It's a decent death scene, a little bit macabre, but let's have a go at that anyway. This is where the particles come in, and as I'll list in the drop box below, there is going to be some required viewing. I expect you all to have watched my tutorials on how to start a Mixmaster event, and I'm going to assume you've all watched that. If you haven't, now go and do it. And so start with some of these will be Archback's Asylum characters. We have our man trying to escape. There we go. Poor man. He's obviously going to be trapped behind something. So we're going to put something here that looks like glass. Now this is the interesting bit. Do not actually put glass in there. Glass covers up particle effects, which is very irritating. And this is when you're going to see why I left this gap underneath. See where that man is? Put a particle thing right underneath him. Where that is. I have saved here a little blood effect. Boom. There we go. Something exploding a little bit. Put that in there. Adjust the aim of that so that it goes through him. And then when it comes to night time, you have an event happening, and then oof, there he goes. He's been attacked. Maybe with a few flashing lights, that can generally beef up the scene quite a bit as well. Another one I like to use is any of Weber's. I don't know how you pronounce it. His Sci-Fi orgs. Trying to fill in the backdrop quite a bit, make sure that that looks okay. That's a robot. These are Vodhin's structural girders. You'll probably want to beef it up with a few things like boxes. Boxes normally help. Okay, yeah, this is going to be quite poor at the moment, but as far as a quick scenery and what I've spent about 5 minutes on this, I think. Okay, lighting. Vodhin's lights, personal favourite of mine. So, I'll get those out. Turn into night time. And we're going to try and make sure you vary colours quite a lot as well. So, what we'll do is with the man in the front with a bit of blue. Generally, you try and get a few of the, and sometimes you can cover them up and everything. Can't really worry about that now. I'll be spending ages doing that. And then what's nice to do is do one front layer in one colour, and then the layer behind it in a different colour. I don't normally think that works best, but that's not clearly not working at the moment. Brilliant demonstration here. Normally I will hide these better, but there we go, mixture of colours. Apologies there, in possibly the most irritating move ever. The camera cut out about 5 minutes ago, and I kept talking, so I've just done a few things in that little gap. Returning to this again, what I added was a few quick laser effects to the light, so that when the blood came out of here, there are a few flashing lights that went off. That really didn't really need much of a tutorial, but now I went over to the explosion. Basically what I've got here, got MGP's bust out billboard. I've got some lighting effects here, some laser modules just behind it. I've put on a billboard, and I've used some of MGP's apocalypse scenery. And what you'll see here is an explosion that you would go past or go towards. You never see what it's like before the explosion, however the laser effects added to it look fairly good and look like an explosion. Those laser effects as well I'm going to include for download in the description. That's fairly easy to set up, and then you just beef it up with some of the extra details that you've got around here. Right, okay, let's go for a bit of temple scenery now. This is Temple of Torment by Boston, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself in the comments. Basically, one thing that's quite good is to include a lot of broken walls and mix them up with some non-broken ones. Because of the angles of them, you can mix them around quite well. As far as lighting goes for the Temple of Torment scenery, I'll tell you my personal favourite one, and that is blue. Blue lighting on these, for reasons I don't know, looks amazing. Really, really good. So I think what I'm going to have here is I'm going to have a treasure scene, a discovery of treasure. That's something I haven't really done either. At least not for a while. So the assumption is you ride, you're going around, and then you suddenly turn the corner, and then suddenly treasure. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do some laser effects for this. I love lasers. And then do some lighting effects to symbolise that as well. So first things first, I'm going to set up some lasers around the outskirts. These are then going to be pointing inwards. That's not good. But anyway. Don't be afraid of the scenery that comes with the game in the first place. Some of it is very, very good. So I'm going to put in some golden statue. There we go. That's good. I don't know where to put it. So what I'm going to do, the background here, I'm going to try and light that up in blue. Because that way it contrasts against the other colours as well. Again, Vodhin's lighting kit. Barely even showed up. There we go. And for the middle bit, I'm going to go for some... oh, maybe a bit stronger. Nope. This is where not scripting this doesn't help. So what we can do actually there is do a single one and bury it.